Hello there, grade 9 students! Nice to see you again! We have now reached the fourth quarter of this school year, so few weeks from now, you can definitely say that you survived this new normal in education. For this video, we will discuss judging the relevance and worth of ideas, soundness of the author's reasoning, and effectiveness of the presentation. This lesson somehow is connected to our previous lessons last quarter, in which we try to determine the relevance of the ideas we obtain and what information should we accept or not. In this time of pandemic, online media play a crucial role as we obtain much of the information from available sources, such as YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and a lot more. Each provides rapid dissemination of information, which also allows us to access news to keep us updated. But we have to remember that not everything we see and hear in social media is true. Therefore, we should learn how to assess and filter information before we react or believe in a certain issue. Read the following conversation of Clara and Mario. Later on, I'll be asking you questions, so make sure you pay attention. Which statements are more convincing? Is it Clara's or Mario's? What are the things you considered in making your choices? What do you think is the impact of unconfirmed information spreading online? What do you suggest to readers or listeners? Well, based on their conversation, we can say that Mario's statements are more reliable and convincing. As you can see in Clara's statements, words such as Facebook post and according to my friend are not really reliable sources of information. On the other hand, looking at Mario's statements, he mentioned news from Inquirer.net, published by news correspondent Delphine T. Malyari Jr., which is already enough for you to believe because of this credible source. Thus, issues which are not true or valid may affect how people would feel if it's not true. So, we really have to be a wise speaker or a wise listener. As we try to gather information from various sources or platforms to keep us updated, our capability to judge the truthfulness and relevance of ideas is imperative. We must remember that before we believe the articles or materials we have obtained, we should check first if it is factual or misleading. Here are the following tips on how to spot factual or truthful information. Let's first check your understanding as you analyze the following situations. You have to decide if it can help you obtain factual information. Show me a happy face if it is, and a sad one if not. Let's get started. Number 1. You are reading an article about the number of new positive cases of COVID-19 in your place. Then, you found out that the article is already out of date. Yes, this one is not relevant to the current event as it is already outdated. Remember that we should always consider updated information. Number 2. Amanda saw a viral Twitter post from an unknown source who asserted that a medicinal plant is being used to cure COVID-19 patients. Also, this is not a truthful information because phrases such as Twitter post and unknown source will definitely not help us obtain factual information. Remember, we should always look for a reliable source. Number 3. A resource speaker in the seminar you are attending mentioned names of credible authors while expounding his ideas. Yes, since the speaker mentioned credible authors, then this could be a reliable information. Number 4. Your friend saw a cryptic news headline and shared it in her timeline, but it does not present any details about the full story. Remember one of the tips on how to spot factual information. We should read beyond. We should not only focus on headlines or titles, but we should read and look for supporting details. Number 5. A social media influencer stressed Filipinos have no right in the West Philippine Sea. However, he failed to cite any source to prove his claim. It is indeed our right to give our opinions, but we really need to look for a credible source in order for us to convince others to believe in what we are saying. I hope that you learned from that discussion. This time, let us discuss the importance of evidence and how do we evaluate them. Evidence is defined as the available body of facts or information indicating whether a belief or proposition is true or valid. So, when we listen to someone, we should see if evidence is present or not. In order for us to validate pieces of evidence, we need to follow the following steps. Let us study this example. What could be the point or claim of the author? What evidence supports this? Lastly, what is the relation of the evidence to the point or claim? Let us have this one. Read the following selection and answer the questions that follow. Number 1. What is the excerpt all about? The correct answer is C. Teenage mothers face critical health risks. Number 2. What does the selection claim? The correct answer is D. Teenage pregnancy results in complications and deaths among teenagers. Numbers 3 and 4. Which two of the following support the claim teenage maternal deaths are increasing? The correct answers are C and D. Both answers have sources which are good supporting details. Now, let us have the 4 types of evidence. It is now time for us to test your understanding once more. You have to choose the letter that corresponds to the type of evidence given. Number 1. Studies show that hand washing practices could cut the rate of respiratory infections by more than 20%. Number 2. According to WHO, about 16 million girls between ages 15 to 19 and around 1 million girls under 15 give birth each year. Number 3. I have seen my classmates struggle from discrimination. It breaks my heart to see people mistreat them because they look different. We must stop discrimination and start looking at each other equally. Number 4. These commercials use spokespersons to testify about the quality of a company's product. Number 5. This weight loss product is very effective. I have been only using for weeks and I can already see the results. Very good! Now I can confidently say that you are able to identify the evidence that support the author's claim. This is Sir Nate, and let me end this session by reminding you about what David Hume said. A wise man proportions his belief to the evidence, so be a wise man.